Hey guys. I know this might creep a lot of you out, possibly. I don't care. This might be an intro for a lot of stuff. Not permanent intro, but a 50% intro, possibly. Whenever I feel like it, possibly. So, yeah, look for this. A lot of videos. Anyway, today's topic. A lot of what you see in playlists at times, and that is nostalgia. My topic? Most popular. Nostalgic cartoons. Mine's a classic. I will be talking for my top 10 favorite cartoon intros. So, and this will be based on bias. My opinion, my thoughts. So, let's see, number 10. I would have to say, if I had to pick my number 10 top nostalgic cartoon, it would have to be Kong, the animated series. What this show is about the cop of. I hope you didn't hear that.
My children do not need to hear that. Wait.
Be right back. Talk about the show Mom's watching. Back to Kong. This show is about a kid named Jason growing up in, the pilot, I guess, growing up with the copy of King Kong. Already I am hooked, because that sounds freaking awesome. So it's your basic Kong fights. Now, actually, this is not how you think, so I guess I should talk about this a little more. So, although I do have time, so I'll make this fast. Jason goes back to Kong Island to help his grandmother with Kong. And, of course, you have your classic villain, who's after some power. So throughout the series, he fuses himself with an invention she has created. He fuses himself with different animals to fight Kong. That is freaking awesome. If you want more of this show, I will put all these shows in the link of the description below. I'll put all of them based on name, then link for the first episode, or whatever episode I find the best. Anyway, number 9. The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius. I loved that show as a kid. It was one of the only shows, animated-wise, that got me into fictional science. There's another show which is higher up the list, which we'll talk about soon. If you don't know this show, you've apparently been living under a rock of Nickelodeon. Again, I will put at the top of the description, in the bottom of the description, my favorite episode of this show. Number 8. Fairly Oddparents, early 2000s. Mainly because I loved the jazz intro of that show. Sorry. If you need me to tell you why the old Fairly Oddparents is awesome, again, you've been living under a Nickelodeon rock. Number 7. Danny Phantom. Kid gets transformed with half a ghost ability. Again, that is so awesome of an idea to fight ghosts. So, sorry guys. Getting over something. Again, that's one of those. Since I do have a time limit on videos, I will say this again for the third. This is the last time I will say this for Nickelodeon. Living Under a Rock. You've never heard of this show? I will please check out. Number 6. I will have to say Captain Planet as my 6th favorite cartoon as a kid. Because this was the only show I remember that got me into saving the world we live. It has a positive message. It has good ideas of these powers, since who, as a kid, who was this, so who didn't want one of those power rings? And of course, you can't ever forget that catchy earworm theme song. So basically, it's your basic environmental savior cartoon. There's no other point to talk about it than that. Number 5. Bill Nye the Science Guy. Debatable pick for a lot of you, but as a little kid in elementary school, whenever we couldn't go outside, we had 2 cartoons to watch. A pup named Scooby Doo. I love that show, but it sadly did not make this top 10. Or Bill Nye the Science Guy. Loved that cartoon because it was, again, one of the only shows that got me into wanting to succeed in school. All the inventions were fun. All the lessons were good. All the wacky sound effects made me laugh. It was a good show, and of course you had the classic, and now again, earworming theme song of Bill Nye. Now, I don't know that many episodes of Bill Nye as a kid, so that show will not be in the description below. I apologize. Number 4. I would have to say, What's New, Scooby Doo. That is my 3rd favorite cartoon, and I'm positive a lot of you love that version of Scooby Doo, so I will not go into that much about it. And all I will say is it's possibly, in my opinion, the 2nd best incarnation of Scooby Doo. Number 1, of course, being Where Are You, Scooby Doo? Number 3. See, this is getting hard since I hope whenever I have a time, whenever I do stuff like this, it always takes me a while to remember a very good show I watched. Number 3 would have to be Static Shock, a very underrated at times superhero. Static Shock follows the adventures of Virgil, who gets mutated, or as they call it, what did he call it? Since it's been years since I've seen this show, I can't remember. But if I do remember it, I'll put it in the description as well with Static. But again, this is also one of those shows where it will not be in the description. I apologize. If you love that show and if you want to see it, I apologize. With Static, went a lot of good lessons. One of them being the dangers of bringing a gun to school because of bullying. The only other show I can remember that did that was Disney's Gargoyles, which is another good show, but again, it's like Pup Named Scooby Doo. Did not make this top 10. Anyway, moving on. Number 2, Pokemon. I've seen every season, every movie of Pokemon, with exception to the piece